Everyone, welcome to Science. Today is Monday, November 1st. We're starting a new unit entitled Weather Principles. Please make sure you get the new notebook from Canvas. And when you're in class, please stop by and pick up a textbook. We have a paper copy of a book for you for this unit. Our new notebook looks like this. Typical things in here. Here's our table of contents that shows where we're going for this unit. It should last about a month, take us through most of November. Our contact information. Again, this unit information sheet is real important. It links to the study guide, our Quizlet vocabulary decks, a YouTube playlist, as well as a calendar for November. And so today our topic is water on Earth, and we're looking at the location, composition, and use of major water reservoirs on the Earth and the transfer of water among them, and then describe how the water cycle distributes materials and purifies water. Why don't you jot down in your notebook what you remember about the water cycle. I will share in the comments or the description of this the link to the water cycle song. It's the great one that you heard last year in 7th grade. Quite memorable. Here's a diagram, something as middle school scientists, you should be able to label a diagram. We've got condensation here, where water vapor cools and condenses to form clouds. Those droplets become heavy enough and they form precipitation. And then that water will go from a liquid state to a gas and evaporation. So we should definitely know those 3 stages of the water cycle. We also see water that runs on the surface of the earth. We call that runoff. It can soak into the earth. We call that infiltration and become part of groundwater. Another really nice illustration here, I like this one a lot, of the water cycle. Surface water, when we're looking at that, we're thinking of rivers and streams and tributaries. A stream or a smaller river that feeds into a main river. A river system is a river and all of its tributaries. You want to be jotting these notes down in your digital notebook. Here's a river system that we're very familiar with, the Mississippi River, and look at those huge tributaries that feed into it. A watershed is the land area that supplies water to a river system, and a divide is a ridge of land that separates watersheds. So if you look at this picture here, kind of shaded in is the watershed area that supplies water to the Mississippi River. And here it's separated by the Rocky Mountains and then the Appalachians over on the East Coast. And some divides. Living in Minnesota, we should know the difference between a pond versus a lake. Ponds are smaller and more shallow than lakes. There are 3 kinds of wetlands: swamps, marshes, and bogs. Wetland is land covered with water all or part of the year. Lots of benefits to wetlands. They provide open space, enhance property values, help slow the water flow and prevent floods, supports diverse wildlife. It allows water to be returned to the ground during dry periods, and it helps infiltration. A marsh is a grassy area covered by shallow water. Again, pause this video as needed to jot these definitions down. A swamp looks like a flooded forest, while a bog is found in cooler areas with very acidic water. Here we see a bog with some cranberries growing on it. Students in class will watch a video on different types of wetlands. Water underground, if it's something is permeable, it means it allows water to pass, and impermeable is the opposite of that. It does not allow water to pass. Drinking water is very important. We talk about water quality, which is the measure of substances in water besides water. Some things we look at are the acidity, the pH level. Hardness is the amount of calcium and magnesium. And remember, pH tells us how acidic or basic something is. Students, again, in class will be watching a video. And then water pollution, the addition of any substance that has a negative effect. And pollutants are the substances that cause pollution. If we can easily identify them, that's called a point source pollutant versus a non-point source pollutant, where it can't be tied to a specific source. Conservation is using less of a resource, and our homework for tonight is assignment 14.